I have noticed that lately, whenever I need a break, the first thing I want to do is scroll on my phone. Mostly because it feels like the easiest way to shut off my brain for a while. But it's not really the rest that I need. It's not rest at all. So this past month, I have tried to switch out scrolling for doing creative crafts with my hands. DIY. The first thing I did was decorate my journals with stickers. And this was a very small and simple thing, but a very good first step, because there was no serious reason for me to do it. I didn't need to, it wasn't productive, it wasn't building my future, it was just something I felt like doing. And that is exactly the type of thing that I have gotten worse at letting myself do. Because my brain has gotten so used to productivity and self-improvement and thinking about what matters most. So it has become weirdly hard to do just small things that just feel nice and fun to do. Like this simple, just little fun activity of decorating my journals felt very unnecessary. Before I started, I was battling the thoughts of what is the point of doing this? Why should I spend my energy on this when I could be doing something important or that would build my career? But I just wanted to decorate my journals. I just wanted them to feel more inviting, because I know if they are cute, I'm more likely to reach for them and start to write in them. When I finally started doing it, I honestly just felt calm. It was very fun. Like just looking through the stickers, choosing how they would fit and the layout of it all, what I liked the most. It was just really relaxing and fun. So this first craft was a really good first stepping stone to start these creative activities again, because it was so simple. And also I proved to myself that I can win over my thoughts and do it anyway. The next thing I did was draw the muscular anatomy of a thorax. And this probably sounds a little bit random in a video like this, but it makes sense for me. That is a physical therapy student nerd. And that day I was really tired. Like I was too tired to study properly. But because of that, I felt the usual pull to want to just lay in the sofa and scroll instead. I also hadn't been outside for the whole day, and I was too tired to go outside on a nature walk. But drawing some anatomy outside felt like the middle ground. Like it felt kind of useful when I'm thinking about my studies, but also it was a good way to come outside, because just laying outside drawing doesn't really demand that much energy of me as it would to read or take notes or walk outside in nature. And also I'm a visual learner, so drawing helps me a lot. And I find it really fun to draw anatomy things, because when I'm like copying a illustration, yeah, I obviously am staring at it for a really long time, and then I start to notice like small details that I maybe haven't thought about before on like the bones and stuff, like where the insertion of the muscles are, and then it sticks into my brain on a deeper level than if I had just read about it. So this little arts and crafts session was kind of a reminder that creativity does not need to be completely separated from learning. Sometimes being creative is actually what helps me understand things better. And it is a really good way for me to spend my time when I need to rest and I'm tired instead of scrolling. Because when I'm stuck in my phone, I only become foggy in my brain and very uncreative. I have a hard time thinking when I scroll afterwards, and obviously during. I have a hard time thinking clearly. Like I get so bad at writing, for example, essays that require more abstract thinking when I have been scrolling for a long time. So this craft helped me in 3 ways. Obviously, it got me off of my phone. It gave my brain something slower and more useful to think about and solve. I guess it is kind of a problem solving because I need to figure out how I'm supposed to copy the image. And then also it got me outside. Then I made a book sleeve because I want to start sewing again. And this felt like a good first project to come back to sewing. I want to start sewing again so I can alter my clothes. But it didn't feel wise to start on an actual piece of clothing. I would probably just have ruined it. So we are practicing on a little book sleeve. I made it out of an old pair of pants that were stained and kind of destroyed, so it also felt like I was sustainable. But honestly, it wasn't really that easy that I thought it would be, because the YouTube video said it was a beginner project, but I was struggling. But obviously I haven't used the sewing machine in a long time, so I don't know why I thought it would be simple. But it was fun to relearn how to use it and have to, again, problem solve a little bit, because I stumble upon a few things where I'm like, this doesn't look like the video. And I had to figure out for myself what I had done wrong and, all of that. And the result was definitely not flawless. Show off time. This was the first strap I did. And obviously it was very crooked. Not that good. But then the second one, look at that straight line. What? And even the corners. I'm proud. Practice makes perfect. Perfection. Why do you need so much brain power for this? Well, this is complicated. YOLO. Well, fuck. Nice. Wow. The big reveal. I mean... Ooh, I love the spots. Ooh, wait, we need to try. Oh, yeah. What if it doesn't fit? Wait. A little bit tight. Okay, we try a smaller book. So, and then we do a little reset. Not that bad. Then... Well, well done. But actually, the end project works, and that's enough for me. And that is also the part that I'm trying to learn. Because I have a very low tolerance sometimes for being bad at things. Especially things that are supposed to be hobbies. Like, I think that I'm supposed to be good at them. I don't know why. And the second something feels harder than expected, my brain quickly says, like, see, Victoria, this is pointless. You are not good at this. You're also just wasting your time on this, so just stop, okay? And that mindset is exactly why it has gotten so much easier to scroll. Because scrolling requires nothing of me. I just get a quick dopamine hit and I don't have to put any energy into it or feel that I'm bad at it. But scrolling doesn't give me back anything. It just takes away things, I would say. It takes away my mental capacity to think clearly and be creative. So even though this book sleeve did not turn out pretty, I am very glad that I made it. Because it got me through that first awkward part of learning to sew again, but also accepting that I'm bad. That it's okay to be bad. I mean, I think it also serves as a good reminder that hobbies do not become enjoyable until you let yourself be bad at them and come over that first hurdle. Someday after, I tackled a real clothing piece this time. So I had a black dress that had ripped in the arms that I wanted to fix. And I really liked this project because it felt less like making something from scratch and more like figuring out how to save something that I already care about. The more I understand about the climate changes, the more I want to be better and more mindful at what I consume and all the things I buy, because I want to be more sustainable. I want to not treat everything like it is disposable and I just wear and then throw it away. But then I also just genuinely loved this dress. I have had it for 8 years. So it was about time that it got broken. But it could be fixed, and I know that I probably won't find anything similar because it is 8 years old. So fixing it was the way to go. And actually, this was a really fun project, and like the process was really fun because I did not really know exactly how to do it, and obviously I didn't have anything to follow, so I just had to go with my intuition and problem solve as I went. And even though this probably looks like a small project to someone more experienced, it made me more confident, okay? Because I figured out that shit by myself. And that's more than I have done in a long while, because I don't need to figure out things by myself when I'm scrolling on my phone. And I think I have underestimated just the process of letting yourself problem solve and seeing that you can do it. Because little creative projects like this that are problem solve based can make me trust myself more. Because I get to see that I actually can solve problems and make decisions without overthinking everything, and also come out with a final project. Before, after. And I really like the whole idea of repairing not only clothes, but in general. I think we have gotten so used to replacing things the second they get destroyed or imperfect. And obviously sometimes that makes sense. But sometimes something is still worth keeping. It just needs a little bit of a touch-up. So this craft was partly about sustainability, but also about building my own confidence. The next project was a little more emotional for me because I had this shirt that my arms were too big for, so I thought that I could sew on some lace to make the arms bigger. And this was not a cute little DIY moment for me because this just made me feel bad. It made me feel fat. It made me feel not feminine. It made me feel ashamed that I so often struggle with finding clothes that fit my big arms and muscular back. And situations like this affects me more than they should, because suddenly it's not about the clothes anymore. It becomes this whole thing where the clothes starts deciding how I feel about my body, if that makes sense. And my usual instinct is just to force it, like push the clothing piece on my body and letting it dig into my skin, or I just let it hang in my closet as a reminder to myself that I should criticize myself for not fitting into it. That's not good. But this time, I tried something different. I changed the shirt instead, okay? The shirt is the problem, not me. And that made me feel slightly better because it felt more like caring about myself and not some standard. It did not completely fix how I felt. It still felt sad that I even had to alter it, but it changed the tone in the moment a little bit. I feel like this craft says a lot about what I'm trying to learn in general, that not every uncomfortable moment has to end in self-criticism. I mean, I can change the outcome and how I want to view. Like, I'm the author, I'm the leader. I'm the alpha, I'm the leader. I mean, I am like the narrator of the story. I decide how I choose to see things. Like, I can see it as, oh, you're so fat, Victoria, and just criticize myself. Or I can see it as, oh, this is a great way to practice my sewing skills and also make a more sustainable decision instead of wasting a piece of clothing. You know? That's way more positive. I can choose to see things positively or negatively. And this craft taught me that. Ooh, fuck it up, fuck it up. I've been wanting to do this for so long, so I'm very excited. I'm very tired, but I was like, it's now or never. So let's do this. The last thing I made was a little scrapbook frame for my best friend because it was her birthday. And I love gifts like this because you can actually feel that it is a person behind it. These type of gifts, you can really feel that someone sat down, spent their energy, and also spent some time thinking about you. Maybe you can see that as a creepy thing, but for me that's a beautiful thing. Ooh, gracious. And I love how the imperfections just makes it mean more. They make it obvious that someone has made it with love. And I think that was a really good reminder for me because usually I see imperfections in something I have made and I take it as proof that I am bad at it. But in this case, the imperfections just made it better. Point was that it came from me, made with my hands, made with care and with the intention of giving her something that I had personally made. The biggest thing I'm taking away from all these crafts is that creativity feels very different when I stop seeing it as something to prove myself with. And also, when I'm spending too much time on my phone, I really do feel the difference in myself. I become someone that can't focus properly. I feel more stressed, irritable, anxious, disconnected from what I'm actually feeling and needing. My days start to just blur together and I get worse at the kind of thinking that actually matters to me. Whether that is studying, writing, coming up with fun ideas, or just feeling present in my own life. But it also makes me realize that scrolling is so hard to replace because it feels easier in the moment. It feels like complete rest because I'm not spending any energy. Whereas creative things, they actually ask something of me. And that is probably why I avoid them so often. Because I'm like, I do not have energy to start this creative thing. I don't want to think deeper. I just want to mindlessly scroll. But that mindless scroll is not worth it. I kind of see it as this like linear thing, this diagram. Like the input of crafts is maybe up here. Like it's a lot more energy. But the output is kind of down here on the energy level because I have made myself calmer and more present and clearer in my mind. So now I have more energy to do things. But like scrolling is the energy input is down here. There's no energy, but the output is kind of up here because it has been filled with brain fog, unable to focus, self-criticism, comparison, la la la, and then you don't have any energy left for anything else. Do you see my vision? I hope you see my vision. It makes sense in my mind. So I really hope that you are kind of motivated to maybe do some creative task that feels uncomfortable in the beginning because you're not good at it. But you know that the output is going to be so much more rewarding than doing something mindless like scrolling just because it doesn't actually require something from you. As always, leave your super wise thoughts in the comments. Also write if you relate to something, because I love answering comments. I get so happy when I get comments. It's so fun to see people relate. And obviously don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Peace and love!